Today we got ourselves a little battle here. I have put together two playbooks that will be handed out to two different teams, and we're going to let them battle it out for 10 years. So what happens if I ban one team from ever being able to hand the ball off to their running back ever for a decade, and then I ban another team from ever being able to drop back and pass the football? Well, we're going to see what does better. Passing only, running only. And to really emphasize that the running is strictly just like, hey, hand it off to your running back, and the passing, no RPOs, no none of that, drop back passing. So it's going to literally be what happens when you throw the ball hundreds and hundreds of times a season, and what happens if you run your running backs into the ground like it's the 90s and 2000s where running backs are getting maybe 400 carries. So in order to make this happen, it was a very long process because game by game, I had to hop in and manually super sim. So this is how we do it for every game. I'm obviously not going to show you every single regular season game, but this is just kind of the process that I'm showing you here. It's unfortunate that you can't just set a custom playbook as the playbook and then, sim the week and it happens, and that's just what it is. No, you have to hop in. But this is what the results look like. Game one, Georgia Tech is the team I picked for the run-only team. And yeah, so this is what the stats are going to look like. 0 passing attempts. In the run game, 33 carries for one running back, 21 carries for another. So just straight running 50 to 60 times in a game. And it's the same thing for Houston, who I chose for the pass first team. They're both 3-star schools in solid conferences, similar overalls. I wanted to have both teams have similar starting points, so it could be as even of a battle as I possibly can make it. Houston, they got to face an FCS team, so obviously they were able to win, but I'm not going to show you the results for every game. Like I said, I'm just doing it for the first one. Again, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what things look like. 59 pass attempts for 5 touchdowns against an FCS school, and I can't, make the quarterback not scramble, unfortunately. So, the only running that'll happen is the quarterback for Houston. I can't just make him not scramble, but there's no designed running plays for the quarterback. So I went ahead and did the same process for 12 games each team. Georgia Tech in year one goes 3-9, and yeah, they didn't throw a single pass all year. Jamal Haynes, the lead back, 330 carries for 1,600 yards. I mean, the result's not anything crazy. You're going to see injury play a factor there. 2 running backs, missed a little bit of time. But for Houston, a lot better results here. 9-3, and they're in the conference championship. So we're going to follow, kind of like how we've done previous videos with like the states or FCS schools or whatever, where we kind of compare them at the end. This one, though, a lot more focused on, rather than a dozen schools that we're following, just these two, and comparing their, award winners, their success, their wins and losses, if they win championships, if they win anything that they accomplish, with only being able to run and throw. And trust me, a lot more changes than you think, because you realize how difficult it's going to be to get a number of recruits while not throwing the ball. No quarterback or wide receiver is going to want to come there, and vice versa, with the positions that, you do a lot of good things that you're going to get stacked on running backs, maybe. But it's going to be a really interesting thing because play style is a factor for some of these recruits. So you're never going to be able to build like a fully balanced offense. The overalls of these teams may never be that high. I don't know what it's going to be like, really. I really don't know what to expect. I've never done a challenge like this, but here we are in this Big 12 championship game, and I'm kind of glossing over the first couple of minutes of this fourth quarter because right now Utah is on top 24-6 on Houston. And if you also could tell, Connor Wegman, the starting quarterback for Houston, is injured. So they got the backup in, and we've seen injuries also now play a factor for both teams. Georgia Tech had running back injuries, Houston QB injuries, and I think a lot of that's going to have to do with the fact that, well, if you're throwing the ball 7, 8, 900 times, it's going to eventually tire you out as it gets sacked here, as Houston needing to maybe put some points on the board to keep this game going and overthrowing his receiver. And the backup quarterback not doing too hot right now, as Houston throw it over the middle. It's knocked away. 4th and 12. Probably a game on the line situation here. Down 3 scores with under 6 minutes to play, as he sends a strike over the middle and he can't hang on. And yeah, that's probably going to do him in here, as Utah finds another score. And that is game. Honestly, though, I didn't know if the lack of balance would absolutely obliterate the teams. For Georgia Tech, it obviously hurt, but for Houston to win 9 games and make the conference championship, pretty impressive, I will say. As you can see, the results there will be popping up on the screen after games. But All Americans is going to be an interesting part. Is it going to be possible to get multiple running backs at All-American for Georgia Tech, or multiple receivers All-American for Houston? That's going to be a try here, as we're covering bowl action. Liberty, Houston, and Houston with a win advantage here, 9 wins compared to Liberty's barely sneaking in at 6-6 on the season. So Houston definitely the heavy favorites here, but can they get the first bowl win? I really don't know if playoffs are going to be in these teams' futures. I don't know. Maybe every bowl game is going to count. Maybe we're just going to watch a bunch of mid this video, but I would really love to see how high these teams can climb. I am very hands-off. I'm not doing recruiting. I'm not doing anything. So maybe in another instance, I could try to, in another video, rebuild the team and see what I can do. Building the team knowing what we need, as that's an incomplete pass on 4th down. But obviously, these teams are going to just build I would imagine, pretty, balanced roster. Because, obviously you're not walking in assuming you're never going to run the ball or never going to throw the ball. So, maybe they're not going to build the most optimized team, but let's just see how it works, as they're going to get sacked. And a quick 3 and out for Houston as Liberty takes over. 5 minutes to go. And still down by 14, but a nice play here. Running back got it out of the backfield, and their quarterback's got over 300 yards on the day. As a little conversion here towards the red zone they go, as it's 3rd down and 4 now. And that's caught for another first down. We're kind of speeding things up here just because they're down, and it's a touchdown for Liberty. No onside kicks or anything. They'll just boot it deep. 2 minutes to go in Houston. This is, where we get to see one of the potential flaws of this team is you're not able to run the ball and, definitively burn timeouts. I mean, I guess if you take sacks, you can burn timeouts, but it doesn't help you get first downs, as is going to have situations like that out of bounds. I mean, it's a 2-minute warning, though, but, it's just going to be a little rough to run out clock, as they'll take a deep shot and it's incomplete. And Houston, punts the ball away with just shy of 2 minutes, and Liberty still had a timeout, so that's what we're talking about with the clock management. But Liberty takes a sack here, 1:20 to go, 2nd and 16, as the pressure's in, and that ball incomplete. 3rd and 16, as Vasco to the air, he's firing one left side, caught 4th and 1. It was a 15-yard game, but they needed 16. They'll have the first down conversion here as Liberty still holding on to that 1 timeout, and pressure, sacked, loses 10, 40 seconds to play, and sacked again. An injury timeout will help him, but you're at 3rd and 25, and he's sacked one more time. 3 straight sacks. It's 4th and 30. What do you do here? Throw it up, and it's not even close to the first down marker, and it's incomplete. So the first bowl win is on the board, where Houston takes home the victory, and you can see what the stats look like on the season. So combining the two quarterbacks' efforts here, they threw just shy of 700 times, and you can see not a single carry given to anyone, not a quarterback, and it's a whole lot of scrambling here. Reminder, I have no RPOs, no nothing in there. It is just straight passes, maybe a couple play actions, but no RPOs or anything. So all those runs, those are just scrambles, which is, it's a lot of scrambling going on there to do it over 200 times. I mean, obviously there's kneeling the ball, I guess, but we go into the next season, and a little bit of improvement for Georgia Tech and a step back for Houston, and both of them have ended up in the same area here. 7-5 for both schools. No conference championships. We get to see Georgia Tech, though, in some action here as they're for a touchdown to kick off a 4th quarter in their year 2 bowl game against Memphis. And right now they are dominating 24-3. This is going to be a contrast to where, being a team that only can run the ball, being up in the 4th quarter, just being up in general, they are a team that's not built to play from multiple score deficits. They play with a lead, and they hold on to said lead, and they do everything they can to try to limit mistakes. That's going to be, I guess, an area that's a positive, is Georgia Tech should be pretty good at turnover differential. You're not throwing picks, and even if you fumble the ball, you should only be fumbling the ball a handful of times. So, they should be up in the turnover differential game. They're just going to be really low when it comes to, cumulative points, cumulative scores, because the time of possession, the games are shorter. So it's a whole different strategy here. Houston's playing long games, lots of incompletes, lots of clock stoppages, but Georgia Tech, lots of clock running and lots of, lower scoring battles. So 24 points, I feel like, is actually pretty impressive for their standards. They're going to go 3 and out here, but, Memphis, they did find the end zone, but it's still a 14-point game with now 4.5 to go as they'll throw right side, tipped it incomplete, 4th down and 8. And a chance to get off the field. They send the blitz. He's rolling. Memphis scrambling. He's got the first down and a lot more. And past the 30. I'd like to think this defense can hang on and hold on. I mean, obviously for both sides, it's going to be up to Houston and Georgia Tech to build good defenses to compensate for their deficiencies on offense. Georgia Tech, if there's one thing working in their defense's favor, they should be pretty well rested. They don't, again, shorter games, less plays, less counts, less things that they need to do. As that ball flies out of the back of the end zone. 4th and goal and a long ways to go for Memphis. The game on the line, tossing it down the field, and it's incomplete. The end zone shot no good, and we get to see this Georgia Tech offense play their ideal game. Clock control with under 3 to go, but Memphis's defense, I mean, it's not like the pass is coming. The run is happening. So another 3 and out. We take it to the 1-minute mark. Memphis got down the field eventually, but it does not go well for them. Sacked. First down, incomplete on 2nd down, 3rd and 20 from the 20. Sacked again. And a 4th down and a mile. And the end zone shot is caught right shy of the end zone. Okay, that is crazy that he managed to not get that. That was just about as much as he could without actually getting into the end zone there. That was really crazy, but yeah, you can see, I'm not going to show you every single season, but yeah, trust me, no passes are being thrown on this team, as they had 2 running backs play a full season. Both of them got 260 carries, so a pretty even split there. I'd be curious to know if there's going to be a time in which they eventually just go like full on one running back with 400 to 500 carries. That'd be really interesting. Records should be broken here in this video in some form or way. Like, I mean, injuries and wear and tear are going to be in our way, but I would imagine that there's going to be some crazy statistical milestones that we see, as Ohio State and Houston's bowl game is for at least the moment, an Ohio State big lead, but a Houston touchdown there cuts it down to 10 with 8.5 to go, as, we expect Houston to be around this area, but Ohio State, come on, what's going on here? 8-4, unranked in a bowl game, as they'll run, and a big run, breaking a tackle, and getting to the 45-yard line, as play action for Sayin, and throwing out into the flats for that same running back who makes a cut and stood up at the line 1 yard shy. Sneak incoming on 3rd and inches, and they get it with ease. You need to at least maybe hold them to just a field goal, but that is a wide open man on the hitch route, and that's also Jeremiah Smith. Why did Jeremiah Smith not go? What are you guys doing? Why are you struggling? You got Jeremiah Smith and Julian saying he couldn't win more than 8 games. He couldn't even be in the top 25. What's going on, guys? Ohio State swings it outside, and they'll get a yard on the play, as saying, end zone touchdown, and a 3-score game, probably going to be the dagger there. Show you how their final possession ended, as Weigman on 4th down and 3 puts one up, and it's picked off, so that does it. Not a fun matchup to go against Ohio State, who still is like a 99 overall team. Weigman, 31 pass attempts. It's actually not a lot at all relative to what we've seen, but again, some quarterback injury trouble. So, Weigman was the much better player, but only able to play, 7 games. So this is a bit of an issue here, where already 2 seasons in, and the quarterback, Connor Weigman, who's going to be gone now, has gotten hurt. Maybe we can get a little bit more of a durable quarterback next season. Georgia Tech actually gets to 9-3, number 20 in the country, and Houston also 9-3, 18th in the country. So neither of them are able to make conference championships, but both of them are in the top 20, and both of them had 9 wins. So that's a nice little step up from last season, where they both won 7 games and had bowl matchups. But now let's see what we got here. Steady improvements. Maybe Maybe I'm gonna underestimate the CPU here and their team construction, and maybe they can actually build a team that is more coherent to what their game plan is. Maybe they just prioritize running backs. Like literally, a quarterback and receiver does not matter. It would be a benefit to them to just like get a bunch of blockers out there at wide receiver. And it'd be a benefit to them to just not even have like get a quarterback also who can just block. Just get as much blocking as you possibly can, because even the quarterback in this run offense doesn't run it much, as here he goes. Speaking of quarterbacks running, it's LaNorris Sellers running, as he's still stuck around here. We're in the third year of this this dynasty, so LaNorris Sellers really sticking around for a full career here at South Carolina as they go to the screen on 3rd and long, and nowhere near the first down marker as Georgia Tech takes over. And it's been, kind of a game that has worked out in their favor. It's a rainy, dirty day here, 10-7, low scoring, and they are able to just break another tackle here in a juke. As like another thing is, like, what happens if they get like a special running back? What happens if they get like a generational running back? What happens if Houston grabs a generational quarterback? What's that gonna look like? I mean, that would just be insane. As they go handoff here, 4th and 4, and they went for it. Interesting to go for it there, as I would have thought with the way the team functions, they would be a more passive team, because running the ball on 4th down and those types of situations is probably not ideal. But luckily for them, their defense is just teeing off on poor LaNorris Sellers as they'll go to stretch play. And there you go, more good blocking, and another 10 yards there for a first. 2 minutes to go. We're headed towards that 2-minute warning as both running backs are getting opportunities here. They got 2 fullbacks in the game. That's also going to be a spot where, they're picking up multiple fullbacks on this roster. 3rd down and 2. Game could be sealed, but it won't happen. 4th and 2 in midfield. They will punt and give South Carolina one last opportunity. They have plenty of time, but just no timeouts. As can LaNorris Sellers beat the rush here, as he has been pressured like crazy. 34-yard line. They'll toss it out. Interesting call to run the ball, and it works for a first down. So I guess no harm done there, because you get the clock stoppage. But to run the ball with a minute to play and no timeouts is interesting, as they'll get 10 more here. 2nd and inches from the 45. They'll run it here. I don't mind this call, because he only needed a small gain, but you get a big one. And you get 30 on the play, so you're set up for field goal range. They will take the field goal to send it to overtime. So Georgia Tech will head to extra time here, and maybe we'll see some wear and tear kick in for South Carolina. You'd have to imagine stopping the run 60, 70 times in a game is going to really put some pressure on the defense and tire them out, as just running through for another 3. It's 2nd and goal from the 2. Up the middle again, and he's untouched for a touchdown. Georgia Tech with the lead. Sellers of the offense over the middle. First down, gain of 13. As Sellers again. Pressure in. He's sacked. And that's the 5th Georgia Tech sack of the game. As Sellers is going to go to the end zone. Incomplete. 3rd and 19. Obviously 4-down territory here. Can you find the end zone? It's got rid of it somehow, but it's incomplete. 4th and 19. Game on the line here for Sellers. End zone knocked away. Georgia Tech wins a bowl game here. And a nice job to get it done. 32 carries, 23 carries for their 2 running backs, and a couple other carries for a couple other players. So their lead back, it's really interesting. Like, they spread it. Like, 4 different running backs had over 100 carries. Only 1 running back, though, at 200. So that, like, I don't mind the strategy there, because you want to have fresh legs in. So, like, I would imagine that's the most effective way to go about it. Maybe not the most fun way, since it would be more fun to just see one dude get like all the carries and see how many yards he can get. I think that's the most fun way to do it. But if you're trying to go the most effective way, then yeah, trying to get a healthy rotation is a good idea. As we go to the other bowl game, Houston taking on Tennessee. 14-14 your scores. Tennessee inside the 5-yard line, trying to get it into the end zone here. 3rd down and goal. End zone traffic, but he caught it. Touchdown Tennessee. As we'll go to Houston's offensive possession. They got a new quarterback in, no Connor Wegman and his injury issues. QB is Aiden Armenta as he'll drop and throw and into the flats. Got it for a running back and get first down as they go with another pass. Of course, I want to see also the distribution, like, you know, as we get deeper into things, like what do they start prioritizing at receiver and pass catcher? That's picked off by Tennessee. But will we see like a super productive tight end? Will we see like a running back get 1,000 yards? Will it be like straight receivers getting all the production? Like that's also another part, is like, what's that distribution gonna look like? Will they be like a one-man show on the receiving game? Will we see like a receiver get like 150, 175 catches or something? That'd be crazy. Like, I just want to see how crazy things get as Tennessee run their way inside the 5 after the interception. And for a 2-score lead, they're in for the touchdown. So it looks like Houston, with just 5.5 to go, is going to need to find the end zone here. And that's going to be 6 more on the play. As I can say, at least so far with these first couple of seasons, the QB play for Houston's been pretty lackluster, as he's going to be shot through the gap and sacked. But, man, what happens when they get a good quarterback? I would imagine it's going to happen at some point as he's sacked again. 3rd down and 20. And step it up. Throwing. Got it. Knocked out, though. 4th and 20. And here's your game here, probably. Deep ball knockdown. Houston's defense steps out of the field, but for Tennessee, with an easy chance to put the game away, makes a big mistake. Throws an interception to the end zone. Houston is still all their timeouts, but they'll have to go 91 yards, try to keep those timeouts with 2.5 minutes to play. Not the most confident, but they'll scramble here. So one of the rare runs that we'll see that we can't really control. But as they throw it here, last play maybe before the 2-minute warning, it's another first down as 3rd down and 7 hits a couple of plays later from the 37 with time. Is somehow no one's getting open, and he'll just run forward for a yard. 4th and 6. Now the game on the line here. Throw it deep. He's got a step and he's got the grab. They'll burn a timeout, though, and take their time a little bit here with a couple of struggle plays. 3rd down and 3, and he's sacked. 4th and 10, and the throw and zone is caught for the touchdown, but you need the onside kick now. They'll also go for 2 just because why not? I mean, it really only matters if you get the onside kick. It's incomplete, though, as the onside up. It's caught by Tennessee, and that will do it. So, you know, nice job to get yourself within 1 score, but the 60 pass attempts, under 50% completion percentage, yeah, not gonna happen here. Another scenario, though, where some injuries took place here. Terrell Atwell was the backup quarterback. He only had to play a couple of games, so, like, it wasn't as bad, but I would like to see some durability here from the quarterbacks. It was a little bit better this time around, though. So let's get into Season 4 as the results here. Georgia Tech, okay, whoa, number 4 in the country. As Houston, 9-3 again, 18th in the country, but ACC title game, and Georgia Tech is going to be going to the playoffs this season. All right. They must have gotten something going on in the ground game, or maybe have a great defense, but right now they're facing number 5 Florida State in the ACC title game. 17-10 is your score, so they are losing, and they are on defense right now. This is where they're not really built to succeed, but if they can get a stop here and allow no points, then maybe you got yourself a chance here as they'll go in motion. Clear it out, screen, and tackle for a loss of 6. 2nd and 16. As the Seminoles underneath, completed for just 4, though. 3rd and 12, here's your shot to get off the field here with 7.5 to go. As a throw, caught, not gonna get around the defense. 4th down and 4, they punt, and now the run game is gonna lose a yard. They're running back, their lead back, I think, has 15 carries for 111. He spins off a tackler there, but loses 4 more. 3rd and 15, and in these long-distance situations, all they could do is hand it off. 10 yards looks nice, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. So they'll punt it away, in Florida State, well, their ground game's not doing much better. How about a loss of a yard for them? Screen, bubble outside, and break it off a tackler, but Another one got there pretty quickly. 3rd down and 7. Will they trade 3 and outs? And no, they won't. Florida State with the first. Got that one in between the zones with 4.5 to play from the 49. Another screen. So Florida State loving their little dump off screen passes. I think that's already the 3rd one. Make it the 4th one that they've ran in this 4th quarter. My goodness, do you do anything else? 3rd down and 3. Hand off. Well, they tried to do something else and it didn't work. They'll lose yards. And now Georgia Tech, and you get a 3-minute drive with the run game. And that's a nice start all the way to the 42. 2.5 to go. Handoff and stop for 2. These 2-minute drill, 3-minute. I mean, for a run game, it really has to turn into like a 4-minute drill. 4th down and 8, though, is the spot here. They just haven't been able to move it well, and he's not going to get the first. It's not pretty in those kind of gotta have it situations where you're putting 4th down and long, as now the speed option, a big run, and Florida State is in field goal range, which would basically do it with the way this offense is moving of Georgia Tech, as they'll go with the run, take out the timeouts, run the clock. They're actually not going for the field goal. What is wrong with you guys? They just got the first down, I guess. All right, that works. That's crazy to not just kick the field goal, though, as they'll have the win. But at least the top back for Georgia Tech was great. And we do have All-American action here. Top receiver for Houston makes it. Georgia Tech is the 5 seed in the playoffs, taking on Boise State. But first, we'll catch you with this bowl game where Houston wins 25-7 over Buffalo, so no issues there. And there we go, finally a full season of a quarterback playing. It was Terrell Atwell, who's a sophomore, looks to be the guy. 3 1,000-yard wide receivers, but he threw the ball obviously a lot. But it's nice to see kind of what it looks like with a full season of one guy throwing the ball. And I hope he gets a little bit better. He's still young, and he can, really improve here. It's not like he's got like normal development and doesn't have a skill ceiling. He actually has some stuff to him. As we'll get to the playoff game now, as Georgia Tech has got it 19-14 your score. They are obviously the higher seed, the favorite, the home team, but Boise State, can they knock them out here as the run will have 5? I want to see how creative they get with the runs here, because a lot of dives, a couple of stretches. I mean, it is just a basic straight handoff team. Not a lot of read options even. Just literally just handing it off 4th and inches. That's a situation where you just got to go for it. I think that's crazy that they didn't go for it here. And now Boise State's offense out there with Tavian St. Clair. 2nd down and 11 underneath the hitch route. And that's going to be 10 yards. Make it 3rd and 1. Sneak. And he's got the first down. Good on him to get it there. As he'll run up the middle. And Boise's got 7 more on the play. Handoff again. And set up 3rd and 1. Will it be another sneak? No, they're a little further back. It's a long 1 yard. And they will not have it. 4th and 1, they punt. Georgia Tech, this is a good spot for you to be in, as you have plenty of time to make this happen. You just need some big runs here, some chunk plays as they're running back. I mean, he's trying. Just Boise State is swarming. Handoff again, up the middle. He's not going to get it. 4th and 2, and they punt again. I would almost in some ways would like some more aggressiveness if you're running the ball time after time after time, and you get 4th and 2 or closer. I feel like you should just go for it. You don't have a lot of upside on offense, so whatever chance you have to keep a drive going, take that chance. As up the middle, it's Boise State. A field goal keeps it a 1-score game, but a touchdown here would maybe just about do it. I mean, I would say anytime Georgia Tech is down 2 scores, like halfway through the 4th quarter or beyond, it's basically going to be game over, as their defense really needs a chance to get off the field here, as it's not going to happen on this play. 3rd and 4, they run for the first. Timeout starting to be used. Tavian St. Clair, the read option, and he's gone. Touchdown. 22 yards at Boise. Probably going to knock out Georgia Tech unless they can get a big run here. As 2nd down and 7 hits. Hand off. Loss of yards. Come on, Tech. Show me something. 3rd and 9. It's just going to be a yard. 4th and 8. Game on the line here, as they will not have it. I mean, the big runs have not really come out that much here. Boise, though, they're going to run out the clock. 1st down, out of timeouts, and Georgia Tech will go down. But, hey, honestly, like, I'm surprised that they even made the playoffs here. I was worried that the run team would be so bad that they would never be able to really win much. Also, this is really funny. Their backup quarterback did throw a pass. It was like a fake field goal, I'm pretty sure. So I couldn't stop. I can't take fake field goal pass out of the playbook, but they did do it at some point in the season. Traylon Maddox did run for over 2,000 yards, had a couple of 200-yard games, and all of that just to be a 5th-round draft pick. So a lot of production there as we get into the next season, where Georgia Tech is 9-3, just outside the picture for the ACC title game, but now it's Houston's turn. 11-1, and look at the points being put up here. This is the complete opposite. Yeah, I think they found their quarterback. Atwell took a nice little leap in the offseason, and they dropped about 50 points a game, a couple of 60-point games, and they're in the Big 12 championship. This is kind of what we've been waiting for one of these teams to really, build their offense in a way that is like super conducive to their play style and really be able to take advantage of it, because putting up 50 points a game roughly, yeah, that's going to be a recipe for success. What I will say to maybe knock Houston a little bit is they only played one ranked team on the season and they lost. It was to Colorado. They get their chance at revenge here. They're up 35-21, so maybe Houston's a little bit of a fake team, just doing some classic 2010s Big 12 stuff, like how like Baylor used to do it, where they'd go put up 60 points a game and not beat the big teams and not get into the playoffs or anything. So maybe it's kind of like that, or maybe they are a legit team, as Atwell is going to throw a screen out in the flats. He's got a man, and the running back is going to have 6. They don't have good running backs for obvious reasons, but I mean, they do get a couple of screens here and there as a strike over the middle is caught. Atwell's at 340 yards and 4 touchdowns so far, and looking to add on to it, swing it out. Another running back in the backfield gets it for 8 more. 7 minutes to play as Atwell has got time. Running, though, eventually runs out. Sacked, and he ran a little too far backwards for my liking. 3rd and 15 as he'll take a shot outside, and incomplete. Colorado, 11-point game with 6 minutes to play, and an incomplete pass to set up 3rd down and 7. Colorado, what do you got? He's got a completion, breaks the tackle, and if you can get points on this drive and still leave yourself enough time, yeah, it might get a little scary, especially with Houston's inability to run out the clock. As 2nd down and 6. And the play action, sacked. And it's 3rd and 15. Play action again. And with time, over the middle, it should have been picked, but incomplete. 4th and 15. And maybe your game is they'll take the shot deep. Incomplete and 1-on-1. That's tremendous coverage as we jump to Houston's possession. I mean, that's probably the safest play in their playbook, is just a halfback screen from the 21-yard line. Atwell, quick inside, got a man, and it'll be having 7 yards. I mean, this is 35 points. Is pretty low for their season average. I don't remember. They didn't go under 40 many games, but they're looking to get 40 now. As first they go from the 7. Atwell is going to the end zone, touchdown. And that should do it for a Big 12 championship. We get to the last play of the game where Colorado just has to, I don't know, get some points to feel better about themselves. It's a touchdown as time expires. It's whatever, but we do not care. Atwell, 385, 5 touchdowns, and pretty solid completion percentage given all those attempts. And we have, oh boy, look at the stats here. Look at the awards flooding in. All right, yep, it's happening now. Heisman winner. 6,500 yards and 78 touchdowns. The receiver, Lex Cyrus, 30 touchdowns, 1,800 yards. Yeah, this is what we were waiting for. I know it took a little bit, but yeah, 3rd seed, 1st round bye, and 2 wide receivers make All-American on top of the quarterback. And the other receiver gets a 2nd team. So all 3 receivers were All-Americans, 2 first team and a 2nd team. That's one of the things I wanted to see if it was possible, just to get all of them. I want to see if we can get all of them on the first team, but yeah. Atwell, that was the quarterback I guess we were waiting on. We just needed somebody to, 1, stay healthy, and 2, actually be better than just okay. And we finally got that, and oh my goodness, there's still more games to be played. I mean, like, reasonably, he could still play 3 more games. I mean, how many touchdowns can he get up to? He can get up to, like, 80. Could he get to 90? I don't know. I mean, we're going to see 100 touchdown season one time? I'm sorry I'm glossing over Georgia Tech's bowl game here. Right now, they're 24-17 down to a 6-6 Missouri squad. So, definitely Missouri the underdogs here, but holding their own, doing a nice job. Can they pull it off? And, Georgia Tech has had some struggles when we have hopped in watching them. It's been a lot of dud runs, not a lot of big plays. I mean, I think you could probably imagine that because all the defense has to do is just guard for the run. I mean, it's not like they're going to throw it. As Missouri, speaking of throwing, they're going to throw on 3rd down and not get the first. So Georgia Tech takes over in a sweep, and they send the house, and it's going to be a loss of 4. Do find it impressive that they are able to even still win, 8 to 10 games when we are watching them, though. Like, it doesn't feel like they're that high of a win team with the way that they just struggle on offense. A quick 3 and out there. As they'll roll, and Missouri running, scrambling 1st down as they slide at the 44-yard line. Under 4 to play, and the screen out, nice block to get him some room, and that'll be 7 more, 2nd down and 3, as that's going to be pressure, sack. And 3rd down and 9. At least the Georgia Tech thing that we have been consistently seeing is some pretty nice defense as a ball is overthrown. 4th and 9. I mean, could be your last chance on offense with 2.5 to go. Here you go. That's a nice run. Give him 11 on the play. He's got, every time we look at the stats as well, like they're running pretty efficiently from a yards perspective, a yards per carry perspective. But, we watch the 4th quarters, and it just doesn't always go that way. 4th and 3, game on the line, it looks like, and they will have the first timeout used. Yeah, they're going to have to make it happen on this drive, as that's going to be a loss of 3. I mean, hurry up offense in the run game is also not ideal, as that's going to be 6 more and a timeout, 1 to go, 1 minute to play, and that's a 4th and 6, only a 1-yard gain. They'll hurry back, they're hurrying up in the goal line package, and he's got the 1st down. All right, well, you're at the 27-yard line. It's not going so bad. You just need to rip off another double-digit yarder to give yourself a chance here. 3rd down and 8, 35 seconds to play, as a run for a loss. Brutal, because now it's 4th and 8, and the game is over. He's a yard short. That's that's not a bad effort there on a 2-minute drill with only running the ball, but it's rough. And look at that. I mean, they didn't split the carries, between 4 backs this time. It was basically just 2 guys getting a cumulative of about 600 carries and running for, 1,500 plus each. So good there, but let's go to our really exciting team for Houston. Maybe the best team that we're going to have all video on either side, because not only are you the number 3 seed, you're 12-1, a conference champion. You got the Heisman winner who's thrown 78 touchdowns. That's just crazy to say. And we'll see how many more he can get onto it. He's probably got a couple already, presuming that he didn't scramble for the other touchdowns. And speaking of scrambling, it's going to be a run for a score. Nebraska 27-24. Houston needs to find points again, as they have averaged about 50 on the season. They're a little bit below that right now. They're only just under half, so they need to pick it up, and they pick up this 1st down, and a lot more than that. Atwell's over 300 on the game, as from close to midfield, throwing aside, got a man for another 1st, as we got 7.5 to go, clock running, as from the 36, open underneath with a lot of room to run. That's going to be another 1st, as they just left everything underneath wide, as now from the 24, quick inside hitter, and he's got a 1st down. The run after catch helping out a lot. I mean, this is kind of, in a way, an extended run game for some teams. They like to do these drags and screens and, quick in routes and stuff, flat routes as a part of an extension of a run game. I think that's a pretty good job to function things when you can't run the ball and you can't just go vertical all the time. But the drive eventually does stall out with 5.5 to go, and you have to kick a field goal. It's good, and we're all tied up. 5.5 to go for Nebraska's offense. Both teams just 1 loss. as Nebraska 13-1, under 5 now as they are going to have 4. And now from 2nd and 6. And with time, it's running out. It's Jason sack for a loss of 9. 3rd and 15, and they will not get it. Time for the Houston offense and your Heisman-winning quarterback to go out here and maybe make something happen. That's 1 yard. 3 minutes to go. 2nd and 9. Throw it over the middle. He's got a man. And forward progress doesn't help him out too much. Just 3rd down and 5 now is the situation as he'll bail. He's not a super fast quarterback. He gets sacked. I mean, he can move a little, but you wouldn't call him like a, 90 plus speed, electric quarterback. He could just kind of move a little bit. As 2 minutes to go, 42-yard line draw play for Nebraska past midfield. And it's getting a little scary now as from the 43 of Houston. And the Huskers outside, that's a little bit closer. You're kind of setting up for a potential field goal now. Read option. And with room, he will get 4. 3rd down and 3. Can they hold to a field goal? No! And a 1st down and out of bounds at the 23. With a minute 10 to go. Will they get it? In the end zone! Yes, they will! Touchdown! What a strike! And Nebraska takes a 34-27 lead. Hey, Atwell, what do you got here with a minute to go? Got to go 87 yards. You got 2 on the first play. And now, Atwell with time. Taking a shot deep. He's got a man! Caught on a flag! There's a flag, and I think it's pass interference. But he got him. And that's going to be declined. As now Houston flips the field. They're in the red zone with 38 seconds to go. Over the middle, and it's caught at the 3. Gain of 15. 1st and goal. Touchdown. We're going to overtime. What a job from Atwell to just heave that one up. And a nice job to be in sync with your receiver. We're at 34-34. Overtime kicks off with Nebraska on offense. And they got themselves all the way to the 7-yard line immediately. Gain of 18. And they run up the middle to the 2. They're running back at 131 yards. And adding to it, maybe? No. No gain. 3rd and goal. Can they find the end zone? Come back! Yes, they can! And now you turn to the Heisman winner. Can he get another one? Oh, maybe he can! First play. Give him 22. Goal to go for a 2nd overtime. Atwell. End zone. Touchdown. We're going to a 2nd. And we now, I think, might hit that 50-point threshold. We could very well hit it as Atwell sack. No, that's not good. 2nd and 18. Atwell outside will get the sack yards back and right back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 from the 25. Atwell got him in, and he's fighting. 1st down. They keep the drive moving, and it's 1st and 10 from the 14. End zone touchdown. Atwell again. We're gonna have to go for 2 now as the play action dump into the flats. And the 8-point lead. Houston, can they punch their ticket to the next round? And a semifinals appearance on the line. Nebraska has 11. Houston's defense, can you just hold on? End zone. Oh, come on. What in the world? Tipped off the defender's hands right into the receivers. How? That's a 1 in a million type of tip into the hands of the receiver. And the 2-point conversion descended to a 2-point shootout. And he's got it. 2-point conversions now. Nebraska, their first try. Swinging outside. He doesn't have it. Houston, Atwell. Can he win it here? Come on. Drop the throw. End zone. Game over. 51-49. He throws 6 touchdowns and 500 yards. And he does hit the 50-point threshold to head to the semifinals. Been a bit since we had a game that crazy, but now it's 29-28. A very unique score here. You get 29 points, maybe a lot of field goals being taken. But Houston right now is driving. They're in the red zone. Up by 1 on Georgia is Atwell. Over the middle. Incomplete. And they'll have to settle for a field goal here. as the kick is good. 32-28. They are winning against Georgia right now with 9 minutes to play, and a trip to the national championship is on the line here. Can Houston, in year 5, halfway point really, like make it to the national title game? As I'll throw over the middle. It's caught, and with room to run, Georgia is going to have it to the 45-yard line with 7 to go. As Georgia's courageous is going to deliver a very tight window throw that's not going to be able to be completed, as he then finds a man. I think they ran into each other, and that's going to, I don't think he would have gotten the first down regardless because he ran himself out of bounds, but it's going to be Houston ball. And Atwell, he can move a little bit. I said he can run. He's just not super fast, but that's a big run for him. As Atwell over the middle. And man, he's, for a guy who's throwing the ball like 700, 800 times, he is just delivering, dealing 450 yards on the game right now, and adding to it with another touchdown. It's 4th of the game. 39-28, and Georgia has no answer for this offense, just like everybody. All they're doing is just throwing every play. You don't have an answer for it, though. I mean, imagine knowing what they're doing and still not being able to stop it. You're putting yourself at such a disadvantage by just tipping your hat saying we're throwing it every play, as Georgia finds a big play. 42-yard touchdown. And this is where we see if Houston is able to close without being able to run the ball. Georgia, 2-point conversion, no good. But with 3.5 minutes to go, can you close without being able to run? That's a completion and a first down. A run into the 3-minute mark as Georgia will start burning timeouts as that pass caught. Another first and more. Tight end up the sidelines to the 38. First down gets him to the 33. Second down completion and another first. They can close it. One more first. Atwell is moving, evading, and he's got a touchdown. This is unreal. Atwell, 46 points on the board. And man, it looks like they're not going to score 51 like against Nebraska, but 46 on Georgia is crazy. And they're going to go to the national championship pending a 30-second miracle from Georgia. Passes caught, but they're out of time. We get to the last play of the game. Down by 12, you can't do anything, and he's sacked. Georgia down. Houston's going to the national championship. Another 57 passes for over 500 yards. Are you kidding me? And they take on Michigan in the finals, and this one a little bit more low scoring, 17-17. But I said that, maybe about the Nebraska game. They walked into the fourth quarter like 24 points, and they ended up with 51. They're going to end up with 20 here, it looks like. Yes, they will. Field goal is good. They are now up 20-17. As Michigan up the middle with the run and the spin and the moves. Okay, that was a crazy good run where he almost broke it free if he got past one more. And they're going to try to ride that run game a little bit more for another 6. He's averaging, just over 70 yards a carry with second down and 4. And a completion outside, turns the corner, gets to the 30. And there we go for Michigan in position to tie it and looking for the lead. 24 yards away. Third down and 4. The wide open in the flats. No one even covered the tight end. Just got him for 13. And now looking for the end zone. He's inside the 5. And looking for third down and 3 and a first down. No, he's got the touchdown. Michigan takes the lead. And they got it now up by 4, 6.5 to go. And Atwell, do you have even more in you? Do you have, at this point, 90 plus touchdowns on the season? I don't know what he is at. He might be past 90. I don't know. He's got 2 more in this game. Can he find a third? Over the middle, it's caught. And for the midfield stripe, he gets just by it. The empty backfield, spreading the field as he's got a man coming off the edge on the nickel blitz, but he's got the outlet and the flats for the first. Under 5 to go. from the 31. Michigan, they're trying everything. They're blitzing and it's not working. As the receivers are fighting and getting themselves another first, inching towards the red zone. What do? I guess if the most unstoppable passing attack ever inside the 10 to the 5. And Michigan, will they allow the lead? Another blitz. They got the screen. And one man, Biddy got stopped up. And from the 3. 2nd and goal for the lead and touchdown! Houston's up 27-24 with under 3 to go. Can Michigan get the tie? Oh, maybe more. Look at that run. Michigan's run game has been so difficult to stop. I mean, my goodness, man. As a read option, wow, that's more run game. That's difficult to stop. Is it the 20? Down to the 16. 2-minute warning. And up the middle, he'll have another solid gain of 6. Minute and a half. Run again. And a first. I mean, I know we're not playing Georgia Tech right now, but it feels like we are. As they'll get it to the 3. And can they get the end zone for the lead, for the win? No, big hit. 3rd and goal from the 2. Big shooting of the gap. And he's got him down. They held on the goal line. And the field goal. I think we're headed to overtime. Unless they got a miracle with 24 seconds to play. Atwell, he's stepping up, throwing it deep. He's got a man past midfield to the 45. Are you kidding me? 1 play to get in the field goal range. 45-yard line, and there's another one. 2 plays in just 15 seconds, and they got into field goal range for the win. The boot is good. Houston wins the national title without ever handing the ball to a running back and letting Atwell throw it every single time. Unreal season. Atwell is a just demonic quarterback. Look at this dude. Terrell Atwell, 8,000 yards, 90 touchdowns to 6 picks. He threw 800 plus times and only threw 6 interceptions. He also ran for 8 touchdowns. He had 98 touchdowns. He had a 700-yard game. He had 4 touchdowns in every game except the national championship. He had a 9 touchdown, an 8 touchdown, and 3 7-touchdown games. He threw the ball at least 44 times in every game. He had 3 2,000-yard receivers, including Cyrus, who had 33 touchdowns. What in the world? And he's back for another season. He didn't even go to the draft. All right, well, Houston goes 12-0. This dude is insane. This quarterback is insane. Georgia Tech 8-4. Hey, right now we're focusing on Terrell Atwell putting up the most demonic, quite literally by definition, just video game numbers here, because you ain't ever seeing this in real life. As over the middle, touchdown. Atwell in the conference championship is up 38-23 on West Virginia for a 13-0 season, as that's going to be West Virginia with a big completion. They're down by 2 scores, over the middle, caught and down for a first, but literally the mission to try to beat this team is to try to literally score 50 plus maybe, and they are going to get a big one inside the 5 to the 3, and read option, West Virginia right to the 1, but not any further. 2nd and goal, try it again, this time he's in. And Houston, I mean, 38 is pretty low for their standards, so can he get past the 40 mark? Is Atwell running again? It's crazy that he's just here for another season, because he wasn't like a high enough overall really to declare, but like he has grown so much in overall and obviously development. He was like, I think, an impact dev QB. He's at like elite dev right now, and what a throw! Oh my goodness, touchdown! Dude, those are some of the most impressive throws that you'll see in this game, because the quarterbacks do not be delivering those post routes like that. Splitting the zone, splitting the safeties. Those are some of the pretty ones, and he is making all of the throws. I mean, I guess if you've thrown it, 800 times in a season, you have the experience. Talk about, NFL quarterbacks, needing college experience, needing college reps. Well, I don't think anybody's getting more reps in the history of college football than this guy. It might be the most pro-ready quarterback ever over the middle again, trying to get to 50. As it's just been another incredible performance from Atwell. And he's going to get sacked, though. I mean, regardless, if you take a field goal here, it's a 3-score game. As Atwell, 3rd and goal from the 18, just throws it short, plays it safe. They still get to about the 5, but 4th and goal, they can kick the field goal. And, yep, they are up by 18 points now. It's just crazy, man. As West Virginia, they're going to get a big play. But like I said, with Atwell, he was like a mid-70s quarterback with like impact development. And with all of the XP that he got, obviously, because if you're throwing that many touchdowns, you're throwing 2 seasons worth of touchdowns in 1 year. You're progressing at a, basically double the rate. Same thing with the receivers. Instead of having a 1,000-yard season, you're getting a 2,000-yard season. That's like 2 years worth of production in 1 year. So, you're getting a lot more production. You're getting a lot more XP. You're getting a lot more boost. He went up overalls pretty drastically, and then his development went up, and now he's like an elite development 90-something overall quarterback because he just played so well so much. And West Virginia, they did find the end zone, but it didn't matter. They didn't get the onside kick. They still lost by 2 scores. And yeah, another awesome performance. And Atwell, I mean, literally like almost an identical season. Like his completion percentage was down a little bit. I think the yards are like I think it might be like slightly lower. Was it? Did he have 6,800? I don't know. But he had 78 touchdowns in the regular season again. Like, he did it again. And also, how about winning Best Defensive End awards, too? And just Best QB, Best Receiver, Best Everything, Heisman winning, Lombardi, all of it. And they have a number 2 seed. And they got 2 receivers on the first team again. So, not quite the 3. But, yeah, they're kind of blowing out Georgia Tech right now. But, I mean, my goodness. This is what I imagine if Georgia Tech got like a demonic running back. This is what it could look like if they got a guy who could run for, could he run for 3,000 yards on 400 plus carries if they got that opportunity? Would that be possible? Like, I know that's a crazy stat line, but I mean, look at the quarterback we just got when they're throwing the ball every play. Look what's possible, because I mean, after the first couple of seasons, it was a little rough when it came to injuries and fatigue and everything like that, but it seems like maybe now they have players who can more so handle the burden that is being put on their shoulders right now. But for Georgia Tech in their bowl game, it has just been more of similar stuff, though. We are seeing it, like, credit to the Georgia Tech running backs and the ball carriers. They do break a lot of tackles. They do a lot here, but you can just see, like, I think you can see it there on that play. Maybe the best example. He was jogging. Like, I think he's just tired. Like, and that's understandable. You're only running, but, like, he was not running full speed because he's just tired. He's probably got, like, 30 carries on the game. He scores a touchdown, or the backup sub didn't and scored the touchdown, but, like, I think that's just kind of one thing you see with the running game is they just get tired out more easily. And I think that's obviously something we expected. Carrying the ball 30 times is not the normal in today's, sport. But, I mean, man, it just is unfortunate for them as Arkansas is just running out the whole clock. And, I mean, they'll eventually get stopped, but no timeouts, 2-minute warning, field goal is good. Still a faint chance here if you can rip off a big run, as they will run right up the middle for another first down. So you get to stop the clock momentarily. Another run, and another nice hole opened up. Whoever, number 1 is getting some nice carries as they go to the other running back. And not much there. 28 seconds, 23 now after the hurry up. 4th and 5, handoff, and slips through the line. Gets past everybody, breaks a tackle, and there's a big run, but it might be too little too late. 12 seconds to play in a touchdown. And the onside kick is okay, recovered by Georgia Tech, but the issue is they only got 12 seconds. It's like maybe 2 plays, and the run for not a first down. I don't know if they're going to be able to get another one off. I think that just might be it. Oh, it's so unfortunate. Maybe one more. 1 second they get it, and the run is not going to get a touchdown. That's so unfortunate. You know how rare it is to get an onside kick. And we got one, but it was just, they just didn't have enough time. Even if they could throw the ball, honestly, it wasn't like really all that much. But you could see here, starting running back was actually he got like 40 carries less, but was so much better. That's interesting. So again, like a lot of good rushing production. It's not like they're bad or anything. It's just they're not succeeding at the highest level right now. They haven't been able to succeed in the playoffs. They haven't been able to get too far. Meanwhile, Houston, it seems like as long as Atwell is the quarterback of this team, they have a limitless ceiling. They're taking on Ohio State after a first-round bye as they won the national title last year. They got a touchdown here, and they could try to cap off an undefeated season with back-to-back national championships. I mean, you know, we go down in history with some of these players, like having, like, you know, channel legendary moments, legendary runs, legendary, you know, feats. Atwell's putting himself in there, man. Like, there's some players that you guys really love throughout the year. I don't know where Atwell is gonna rank. Not many guys have gotten the opportunities that Atwell has. I mean, you know, we've seen great quarterbacks not even throw 800, 900 passes and maybe in their career, and this dude's throwing it in one season. But, like, still, the fact that he's playing so much better than every single other quarterback that we have seen is, like, I think a real testament. Is like, yeah, he's just a little bit different. Ohio State not able to get the first down here. 5.5 to go, and they'll throw it down the field. Caught, and a first down. That really could have been your chance to ice this one up 10 with the ball in a good field position, but no, Ohio State keeps it alive. Throwing it short. Got a man inside the 10. Down to the 4. They rule him at the 3. And with 4.5 to go, hand off. Tackled in the backfield. 2nd and goal from the 6. Drop back under center. And with 96 right there, he finally does get him. It was like right there. Just had to reach out and grab him. 3rd down and goal. And short to the back. Not even close. That's a fumble. A late fumble, but it's a fumble nonetheless. And it's Houston ball. I would have thought maybe that one could have been reviewed, but it wasn't. And Atwell, that's just another good throw. Like, the defender just wasn't able to get there quick enough. Like, he's just lasering in these balls right where they needed to be. And that's going to be another one right to pass midfield. He's got almost 400 again. I mean, is there a game that goes by where he doesn't put up 400 plus? It feels like. There it is. Timeout's being used. Ohio State can't do much about it as Atwell outside. Keep adding to it. Touchdown number 5. And Ohio State is getting ran off the field right now as they are going to throw it deep. They have a wide open man. It's a touchdown, but still now down by double digits with the onside kick and the recovery. Houston onto the semifinals. This is unreal stuff. So he had 78 touchdowns after winning the Heisman again. He's got 4 more there. So, hey, he had 98 total touchdowns last year. Could he get to 100? If he plays the next 2 games and goes crazy, he could maybe get 100 touchdowns. 3rd down and inches, though, at the 3-yard line. Georgia, they're down 28-7. So we've seen Georgia already matched up. It's the same quarterback matchup as last year. Georgia has a touchdown to make it a 14-point game, but same QB matchup as last time, might be the same result. Is there going to be any semblance of slowing down? Atwell is got another completion for 10 as he'll throw outside. No hit as he's throwing. 3rd down and inches as he'll drop back into the flats. And no, 4th and inches. How did they not get that? That is crazy. I mean, at that point, I would have just considered, like, sneaking it or something. Nice job on defense there. One-on-one coverage stops them as from the outside they'll swing it. Nice move, but started a long way back and only got 2 yards despite making multiple guys miss. As Georgia taking the shot over the middle. Oh, he makes it, and he got the grab with a broken tackle. Looked like the defender had him at least down short of the line, but he got past and got a lot of extra yards. And Georgia can make this a 1-touchdown game right now. And that one, oh, that's a fortunately unfortunate, but also fortunate because he had one guy and then it worked for a first down. I don't know. That was a little ridiculous. 2nd down and 3 over the middle. 1st down and goal. They are doing a great job. And now the handoff is in. Touchdown, 1-score game, Houston. Do we have a little bit of an issue here, Atwell? Are they going to make it to the national championship again, or will it be a blown lead as Houston, Atwell, outside, got a man, 1st down, 5 minutes to play, still a lot of time on both sides, as he will step up and fire over the middle, past midfield, Georgia territory, and he's right close to another 400-yard performance as he'll move right, throw it, and big hit, knocked it out. 2nd down and 10 as Atwell has got pressure and he's sacked. 3rd and 14. Under 4 to play, right at midfield. Too long for a field goal as he'll fire it outside. Oh my goodness, he got it again. They got it again, Atwell. How do you keep doing it? As he'll go down the field for another. Just, like, he's bold, man. I mean, I guess, again, when you throw it that much, you got a level of confidence to you. But, man, he makes a lot of bold throws. I love the aggressiveness. I love some of the confidence on some of these. As let's be 3rd down and 8 from the 31. Atwell is kind of, couldn't take that sack. They're going to punt it away. That's unfortunate. You couldn't take that sack. Now you got to miss out on a field goal. Georgia has got to go 98 yards, though. It's a great punt. 98 yards to try to tie this game and maybe send it to overtime. But, man, what a blown lead it would be if it does get that point. As over the middle, almost took a safety maybe. He was holding that ball a little dangerous in the end zone. You can't hold it that long without expecting some pressure as they get another completion here for 15. So moving it pretty solidly. You got 2 timeouts, 1:14 to play, and that's a 3-yarder, 3rd down and 7 as we're at the 60-second mark. Georgia sacked! And it's 4th and 14 with the game on the line. Georgia taking their shot past the 1st down marker. He's got it and more. And he's gone. No, not quite. Down at the 1. Tracked down. But he's all the way at the 1. Now for the tie. Could we be headed to overtime? It is a touchdown. And we are indeed headed to overtime. It was 28-21. And the defense has allowed 21 unanswered for Houston. Atwell's got it first. Can he somehow do like a reversal of momentum here? Everything is going Georgia's way. And it's going to be a really insane sign if he can manage to pull this one off. 3rd and 10. He's sacked. He's sacked. It's 3rd and 10. 25-yard line. Atwell over the middle. He's got the 1st down. And inside the 10. Golden go at the 8. Can he do it, Atwell? He's stepping up. He's got time. He could run if he wants to. He'll throw! Touchdown! He could have ran, but he trusts that arm. And now Georgia, they need to respond. They thought they had it all in their hands, but Georgia now needs to find the end zone again as he is gonna get sacked. 3rd and 17. Come on, defense, to send him to a national title. They'll send him deep. And incomplete. It's 4th down. Last chance. Last chance. And deep to the end zone. It's caught out of bounds. He just had it too far. And that's game. Atwell and Houston win again. And they will be headed to the national title game against Miami. And they find themselves losing 27-20 as Atwell brought down. They'll give him a 1-yard or no gain rush as it's 3rd down and 10 as Atwell outside. Incomplete. Miami doing a nice job, though. I mean, anytime you can really just hold this team under like 35 points, I'd say that's a win. I mean, like, seriously, that's just how crazy it's been. As Houston, though, 20-27 down in Miami. Can they find themselves a 2-score lead? He's going to have 4 on the run. And from the 35-yard line, play action in the flats. There he goes. 1st down, Miami. And this could get a little scary. I mean, obviously, you trust Houston's offense, but you don't want to have them come back down from a deficit like that. It's a touchdown, Miami. What a throw. And there it is, a 14-point lead. And can the run of Houston over these last 2 years, will it end in defeat? As Atwell completed. And that'll give them 8 yards on the play. Throw again for a 1st down. 300 yards. Hey, that's a low game. 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's like it's a low game for him. As he'll have a yard on the play. 6 minutes to go. Right down the center of the field. And he'll be right about at midfield from the 49. Atwell. Drag. And no first, but they'll take 8. They're trying to get as many of these firsts as they can to keep the clock as stopped as possible, as Miami's defense is letting them have a lot of short stuff. He's over 100 yards receiving, 29-yard line. They send the pressure! Got it outside! And to the 4. It's a nice job to identify the blitz and find the open man. They send the blitz again. Atwell, he might be just unfazed by the blitz. He runs it in for a touchdown. We got a one-score game again. Man, Atwell handles the blitz better than most quarterbacks I have seen in this game. Like, seriously, he handles the blitz incredibly well. And he gets sacked for a loss of 5, 3rd and 15. Here you go. If you can get off the field here. He's looking. He's sacked again. There you go. You got a possession. 3 minutes to go for Houston. Atwell, can you do it? Over the middle. It's broken up. The list of players on this channel that we have, kind of focused on, followed careers of, to go and win back-to-back national championships. You can count it on one hand. It isn't very many, and it would be an incredible feat given the circumstances. 4th down, they got a punt, though. It just couldn't get anything going on the drive. And Miami running for a big first down. And maybe it could be over here. You need the stop. You need it, and you can't allow many more yards. It'd be a 59-yard field goal from here. As it's 2nd down and 7. Can you get a sack? Yes, you can! 3rd and 13. Keep them out of field goal range. Screen, no good! One more chance for Houston. One more. Atwell pushed and gets it out. Got positive yards. Again, handled the pressure pretty well there. 2nd down and 4. Atwell takes a shot deep. Takes a shot. His receiver had a step and he couldn't reel it in. That was a chance there. 3rd and 4. Atwell. He's going to take a shot deep again. And once again. No. 0 for 2. 4th and 4 for the national title. Come on. Atwell. 3 straight deep. And incomplete. And that's game. Man, I mean, the first 2 deep shots weren't so bad. The last one wasn't ideal, but it was so close. Like, especially that first deep shot. He had a step. Wasn't a bad throw. He threw it 900 times for 8,000 yards again. Less picks. He threw it 75 more times and threw 1 less pick. He ran for 1 more touchdown. So once again, he had 98 touchdowns on the season. Dude, he had 2 seasons of 8,000 yards and 98 total touchdowns. And in that time, he also got 3 receivers to get a 2,000-yard season in one season. And then this season, 2 2,000-yard receivers. Like, it's crazy, man. All that, too. He's a 2nd-round pick. And the hilarious part, the quarterback for Georgia Tech who never threw a pass was a 1st. That is the most... No, so Georgia Tech's quarterback who threw 1 career pass. He threw a fake field goal. 1 career pass. He was a 1st-rounder. The guy who threw 98 touchdowns in 2 straight years. 2nd-rounder. That is a certified... draft logic moment there. Though we will have some positivity here for Houston post Atwell. The receiver wins Heisman this time around, and Georgia Tech is a little bit better than they've been. But the issue for Houston is without Atwell, the quarterback play wasn't nearly as good. But yeah, it does feel like Atwell maybe was a little bit more special than like you would have thought, because it's not as simple as just plugging in any other quarterback. Though, look at the score of this game. I mean, just to show you how straight up this is, I ain't never seen scores get this high in Super Sim, man. What are we doing? It's 63-3 going into the 4th quarter. Stop it. They're already gone. They're already... Oh, no. 83. 90. 90-10. 90. He threw 12 touchdowns and 700 yards at a bowl game. Like, dude, what? And he's now look at the season he had. Like, obviously great season. I mean, almost 7,000 total yards and 60 plus touchdowns, 70 plus touchdowns. Like, obviously great, but like he wasn't even nearly as good as Atwell, which is the funny part. And then the receiver, though, he won Heisman. Joey Venable had 30 touchdowns plus. He had a 300-yard game. He had a 6-touchdown game against Liberty in that bowl game. So Good for them. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, I don't want to overshadow them. They made the playoffs. Good on Georgia Tech for making the playoffs. We love to see that. So we got to kind of, rein things in here. Atwell, you served a great purpose, but hey, Georgia Tech's the one putting out the first round quarterbacks here. So, I don't know if we factor that into the end, that Houston could throw a billion passes and not have a first round quarterback, but Georgia Tech, they only needed to throw one pass, and that one pass must have told us a lot for him to be picked in the first round. As the run game, oh, look at that, a big run! And if he was fast enough, man, like literally, it's just, if they weren't so tired running the ball throughout the entire season and weren't so beaten to the ground and wear and tear left and right, they'd be able to break some of these runs a little bit further, but unfortunately, they are permanently tired. Georgia Tech, though, up 10-3 and a 4th down and 5. That's really hard to go for it there, and you give them good field position. That's very much not ideal. But Georgia Tech has been on a little bit of a mission here. We're not talking about national championships with this team. Can you win a playoff game? Can you win a conference championship? Can you really get to that next level? Can you win these big-time games without throwing the ball in, what is still deemed by many a passing league, a quarterback-driven sport right now, even though running has been a little bit more prevalent in recent years, but it is still a quarterback-driven sport. And the team, Georgia Tech, they don't use quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are irrelevant to them. The forward pass hasn't been invented yet for Georgia Tech, so, we'll see if it's possible to win, though, at these highest levels as UCLA. One thing it is taken, it's great defense, and having this UCLA team only with 3 points on the board right now as it's first down and goal with under 3.5 minutes to go now. Toss it out. Can they tie it? Got one block, but a nice open field tackle is one-on-one out there, and the defender won it, as this time the blocking a little bit better. No defender to stop him. Touchdown. And it's a tie game, 10-10. Toss it outside, and that's a really nice run. That's going to be a first down. Gain of 10, hand off, and up the middle. That'll be about 5 on the play. All right, so back-to-back solid runs. 2-minute warning is approaching. A first down there. That's another 7 yards. All right, you're stringing together some nice runs. Can he get to field goal range? Maybe more than that. It's not just a field goal. He's gone 58 yards and a touchdown for the lead in the playoffs. There we go. We've been waiting to see it for Georgia Tech. Break the big run and the big moment on a big situation. That's what we want to see. We've seen the one big run where they were down by 2 scores with 10 seconds to go, and they got the onside kick, and it didn't really matter. But that's what we want to see. Can you run it in those moments and it works out? But UCLA, speaking of working out, their offense is working out a lot right now. The first 3.5 quarters were pretty empty, but this last couple of minutes have been all UCLA offense. These last possessions from the 3, outside, caught, touchdown. And we could be headed to overtime. It looks like we will be. They obviously are running the ball, so they don't get the first. UCLA doesn't burn a timeout, and we are headed to overtime in a game where the defense of Georgia Tech was doing good until the last 3 minutes or so. And now UCLA, can they keep it moving? Can they keep that momentum going? Well, they are at first and goal from the 4, hand off, and he's down at the 1. It's a long yard, I think, as they'll go with another handoff into the end zone. Touchdown. Georgia Tech needs to respond with one of their own. Can they go and have an overtime success with the overtime rushing attack? 16 yards. There you go. First down and goal from the 9. Cutting inside. He's got patience, and he's got 6. 3 yards away. Counter run. Stop for a loss. 3rd and goal from the 7. This is where it gets scary. Can they find their way in? Yes, they can. Nice run. Didn't go down on first contact. Double overtime. And it's their turn first. Come on, run game. Can you keep it moving forward? He's got 31 carries for 220 yards. And keeping the carries are coming. And he's got it to the 7. Come on. Come on. Win this playoff game. Step Farm. Step Farm again. He's fighting his heart out. My goodness, what a run for this guy who's got over 30 carries at this point in the game. 3rd down and goal, though. Can you get in? No. 4th and goal. And this whoever the running back is about to hit like 40 carries. I need him to get a game ball regardless of the result here. What a performance he's putting on right now. He had the long touchdown run as well. Like, this is incredible. As UCLA's got 7 on their first play. Screen outside. Gets him down. It's going to be a first, though. From the 14, touchdown ends it. Field goal, we go into a shootout. As they'll get another 7. Make it 3rd down and 1, though. As the pressure in, and he's sacked. We got a field goal try. We are headed, barring a miss, to a 2-point shootout. And UCLA has it first. Play action to throw. And outside, caught! That's a tough grab, but he makes it. And now Georgia Tech for the tie! No! Game over! And they lose it in overtime. 35 carries, 245 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What a game, but it wasn't enough. I mean, that's brutal. Is it just not going to be possible to win a playoff game with these guys? I mean, my goodness, man. Still, though, that was a really good game and a really good job from the team. But we will head into year number 8. We're approaching the end. Georgia Tech, 10-2. 6th in the country. They're making the playoffs again in Houston. Conference championship and on the fringe of the playoffs at 11-1. Maybe they can hit a new little, section of success post-Atwell. I thought maybe they had peaked. Probably they have, but hey, they are here at 11-1. I don't know why they're so low in the country at number 10, but the catch here, and how about that? A touchdown. As this game was a pretty big domination in the conference championship, 35-17 after that touchdown, make it 42-17, and an eventual win here, a 45-17 win for Houston, taking home the conference championship, punching their ticket to the playoffs here, as we have another Heisman winning quarterback. Chip O'Dwyer's the new guy, not quite as good as his completion percentage is a couple percent lower, the touchdowns a little bit lower, yards a little bit lower, but still, better than the guys we had previously before Atwell as well. So, we'll take it. We'll take a pretty good season there. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, though, his interceptions were a lot higher, which, throwing that little interceptions as Atwell did in that many pass attempts is already impressive. So not going to fault it too much, but still maybe the second best quarterback we have had for these guys, as both teams are in the playoffs. And if I recall correctly, is this the first time both teams are in the playoffs at the same time? As Houston, number 8, taking on number 9, Tulane, as the first play has a flag down, and it'll be a holding as Houston back them up 1st and 20, as they'll throw over the middle, and it's caught for 10 to get those yards back. O'Dwyer out here with under 300 yards and about to go over if that ball would have been caught, but it's not. 3rd down and 10. He's got 3 touchdowns, though, on the day. Short pass, caught, tackled, 41-yard line. It's enough for them to feel comfortable trying a 58-yard kick, and the field goal is good. All tied up now at 24 as Tulane hands it off and run to the 22-yard line for, I guess the sake of Georgia Tech. They need to maybe go on a run here. It's looking like if Georgia Tech's going to want to, outdo Houston, you need at least a national championship, but you're already behind when it comes to Heisman's and everything like that. It's going to be tough, but I guess it could start with Houston maybe losing and having a run of, playoff failure. They got a conference championship this season and a Heisman, so it's already more than what Georgia Tech has done in any of their best individual years. But still, I'm going to hold out a little bit of hope for Georgia Tech maybe getting some playoff success on the board. They've been close before. I know it's possible based on what we've seen. It just needs to happen now, as from 37, Houston still all tied up, 6 minutes to go, and that's a nice dig route down the center of the field at 22. As a new set of downs, O'Dwyer got a man, broken tackle, and that'll be 13, 1st and goal. 5 minutes to play, and for the lead, O'Dwyer floats it, incomplete. 2nd and goal, the spot now. Got a quick little crosser there, and that's going to get them down to the 1. As heavy package here, obviously, though, they're going to throw, and O'Dwyer, it's okay, got rid of it, thankfully. but there's a flag down, and I mean, not going to be intentional grounding, but it will be holding. It's a 10-yard loss regardless, though. Third down and goal from the 11. O'Dwyer outside, ball tipped way up in the air. That should have been picked. And instead, they'll get a field goal out of it. That ball floating up there that long, you got to pick that one. It's going to be 27-24, 4 minutes to play, though. It's Tulane. Got a man wide open and with room to run. Give him 25 on the play and a new set of downs. Plenty of time here to just make something happen as they find a man in Houston territory. And moving the chains again. 3.5 to go and a sack. 3 now on the board, as that's going to be a completion right back into field goal range. Just don't take a sack here. You can maintain field goal range or do a lot more than that. How about 32 to get him to goal to go? And now for the lead. Handoff. That'll get him a yard closer. 4 yards out. 2-minute warning. And the run. Makes a move, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. And Houston, they need a touchdown with under 2 to play. And that ball almost picked. You're getting away with some here. There's not been a lot of interceptions that we've seen, in the games that we spectated. I didn't change the slide or anything outside the ordinary, so it's just kind of how the things have fallen, how the ball is dropped today as 4th and 11 hits, and Houston got to go for it, obviously, to keep the game alive. He's got it, and he can. No, not quite go, not fast enough, but to the red zone with a minute to play, and another one inside the 5, down to the 1. Houston is going to go with an open man. Touchdown. I hope you didn't fall for the play action. They don't ever run the ball. It's now 34-31, and Tulane needs a touchdown here if they want to win it, but obviously going to be just looking for the field goal, but they're not making good progress right now. 42 seconds to go. Never mind. That's a great play. You needed that one. Looking at maybe 20 yards for field goal range needed, and no timeouts. Tulane, there's 6. Back to the line, 27 seconds to go after the spike. And throw it outside, incomplete. Got to get rid of it there. That is now 4th and 4. 21 seconds to play. Over the middle, it's caught. And back to the line, you got to go. Hurrying it up. They spike it with 15 seconds to go. And now, from the 11-second mark, he got tackled in bounds. He got tackled in bounds. Can they get the spike off? Can they get it? I think they will. 3, 2, 2 seconds to play. And they got the spike off. They're going to try a 60-yard field goal to send it to overtime. It's a big kick, but I think he can have the range. Can he have the accuracy? Sent on its way for overtime. Kick is off the upright and no good. Ends the game on a doink off the upright. Unbelievable. As Georgia Tech now is back in playoff action. And once again, they have a little bit more of a favorable matchup here. I mean, taking on Florida Atlantic. They are 12-1, so fair play to them, but it's Florida Atlantic at the end of the day. Their team isn't nearly as high as an overall as what you could be playing with some of these SEC schools. It's 13-13 right now as the handoff. And through for a gain of 9. So with it being tied, having the ball, Georgia Tech does. Can you break something free? And there's a big run, but there's a flag. And by big run, I mean it was like 11 yards. But still, it's a pretty sizable run to get that called back. And that's going to be holding to send them to 2nd and 11. Those are the types of penalties that really hurt this team way more than it would Houston. Houston can maybe pass the ball, get out of that spot. But Florida Atlantic now just has to swarm, make the tackle, and they do. And you just lost possession there, really just due to the holding, as that throw outside, and Florida Atlantic got good field position, 44-yard line after the punt, incomplete pass on first down, but second down they find a man for a first. There you go, inside Georgia Tech territory, take it for a 1-yard run, 2nd and 9, as they go handoff again, and straight through the middle, he goes for 12 yards and another new set of downs. They're in field goal range, but how about trying to get to the end zone? He's gone. And you're being outran right now by this Florida Atlantic team. You got to come out here and assert your dominance here. You got to show you can run the ball. at the 21-yard line. Sweep it outside, and with room, gets to the corner. That's what I'm talking about. Big run down the sidelines. Can it go? No, to the 10. Yeah, that's a big run, though. Needed that one, and trying to look for the tie. It's goal to go from the 10 as they hand it off. It is through. Touchdown. We're tied right back up. That's big. All right, under 5 to go. Screen for Florida Atlantic, and they will have themselves 6 yards on the play. 3rd down and 3. Opportunity to get off the field, but it won't happen. All right, well, now 3:30 to go. Florida Atlantic in a spot where that screen is covered. That was actually a really good job by the D lineman, but they're in a spot where if they can get a 1st down here, and they will, now it's scary because not only can you run out the clock and maybe kick a field goal, but you don't need to leave Georgia Tech with no time. Just if you leave them at like 2 minutes, that's still going to be really difficult with the way that they have to move on offense. 3rd down and 4, though. And another 1st down. And right in field goal range now. And this is going to be worrying for Georgia Tech. 2 minutes to play. 2nd down and 5. That's caught, but short. 3rd down and 5. 1:20 to go. And another completion. And now they can just run out the clock. As that ball... Oh, my goodness. That should have been a pick. That should have been a pick. You got away with one there. So they'll use their timeouts here. 3rd down and 11. And Georgia Tech will have a ball sent to the end zone and incomplete. So a couple of incompletions help them out big time as the field goal now for what could essentially be the win is no good. Off the upright again. What is going on here? As Georgia Tech now, can they do something here? Tackle down, 1st down only gets 2. 2nd down gets nothing. 3rd down with 30 seconds to go. We could be headed to overtime. And yeah, we will be headed to overtime. So 3 straight runs, 3 straight nothings. And, well, you caught a major break with that field goal miss. You got to be able to capitalize. Because you feel like you've already been beaten this game. You got a stroke of luck on your side. Don't lose this game again. As this is a 15-yarder. Florida Atlantic driving. And outside. Ball's caught. And breaking a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown. Florida Atlantic. There is no way. You have to put the ball in the end zone here. And that's a fine start to the drive. Take 6 yards. Up the middle now. That's a 1st down and more. All the way to the 3. Come on, just punch it in. Handoff up the middle. No gain. 2nd and goal. Handoff now a little bit more outside. He makes a man miss. No gain again. 3rd down and goal. Try it inside of the shotgun. No good. 4th and goal from the 1. How about one more? Stood up. No. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? He was right there. And he didn't get in. Are you serious? Like, dead serious, man. That's insane. That's just insane. All right, well, Houston takes on UCLA here, and Houston in the playoffs, well, it didn't go their way this time around. How about 36-14? They actually get dominated in this playoff game. Like I said, with Atwell, it's just a little bit different with a guy like Chip O'Dwyer. He did throw 82 touchdowns, but he threw 25 interceptions. I mean, you know, Atwell didn't throw 25 picks in, like, his whole career. And Dwyer threw 25 picks on the season. He did have a 9 touchdown, a 10 touchdown, an 8 touchdown, 2 7 touchdowns, but, you know, kind of forming these lesser teams and had a little bit more struggle against some of the good teams. So, again, you know, highly productive, but not as effective and as efficient as you would have liked. And both teams sent a couple players to the NFL. We were in year 9, second to last season. Georgia Tech. Can they win the conference here? They got their chance. Houston, meanwhile, they are on the bubble of the playoffs again. Both of them in conference championships. One on the bubble of a 1st round bye, which is what Georgia Tech is fighting for here. And Houston, you know, if they can't win their conference, they will probably be out of the playoff hunt. But Clemson is here, 27-13. Ball incomplete. Georgia Tech is down by 8. And generally for Georgia Tech, it's been a struggle for them to win big games. They have not been able to get it done in the playoffs. They have not been able to get it done in the conference title game. It seems like they can farm, lesser teams. They can beat worse teams. But when you get to the highest competition, the run game just isn't enough. It hasn't been enough, at least so far. I can also say they haven't gotten some, like, generational running back. They've had a couple of nice offensive lines, but they haven't gotten, like, a special running back. Their highest rated running back has been, like, I think, low 90s, if I can remember correctly. They just haven't gotten, like, a special player, like, maybe Atwell at quarterback. They haven't gotten that crazy, maybe if he's not the highest overall, just a good in-game player, really, as much. That's at least what it feels like, but it just kind of also feels like the run game isn't as effective here in these big moments, where it feels like it should favor them in some aspects. Like right here in the rain, you should be able to outrun teams, and that's also the problem. Houston, even if they lose, they will outpass you. When Georgia Tech loses, sometimes they get outran by other teams. That's the issue as well. It's like the thing you're supposed to be the best at, you don't always do the best at. You don't run for 300 yards every game like you're maybe supposed to. As that's another example right there. Clemson just running through the Georgia Tech defense, and, well, 4 minutes to play, and you're down by 2 touchdowns, and you gotta go and get a big run at some point or do something, because it could be a no first round bye for you. And if that is the case, you're going to have to rely on, once again, trying to win a playoff game, something you've not been able to do just to get to the next round. 4th down and 2 as the handoff got the first, but time is running out, and you are at past the 2-minute warning. We're kind of getting you through with some of the key runs here, and there it is, a big run, and he ducks out of bounds. That's pretty smart. We'll take that. 3rd down and 2, though. How about another run? And slips through inside the 5 to the 4. Unfortunately, though, they had to use timeouts as they run it up the middle, got the touchdown, but they have to get the onside kick as this one bounces off a person, bounces off of Georgia Tech, bounces around again, and Georgia Tech has the onside. They've recovered 2 onsides in this video. That is so rare. But they need to actually do something with it. Handoff, and through the line, he got a big run to the 40. Come on, pull it off. Running, and not able to get the first. That's their final timeout. They got 32 seconds and 32 yards. How about a first down here, though? Okay, they're not that far off. 23-yard line, 26 seconds, and no, he's tackled for a loss and in bounds. The outside run there was like was the right move, because you got to give yourself a chance to get out of bounds, but it's 3rd down now, and with 13 seconds to play, the run straight up the middle, and he's not going to have the first. Are they even going to have another play? 6 seconds! Come on, one more! I don't think they're going to get it off in time! Oh my goodness, man. They recovered 2 onside kicks this video, but they just didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough. They couldn't do it. That's so disappointing. Regardless, though, they will be in the playoffs still, so they just won't have a first round bye. Houston, meanwhile, is fighting for their playoff lives. They're right at number 12. They lose this game, they're done. Luckily for them, they're up by 17 right now, but TCU is not going to be able to get a touchdown there. They will kick a field goal to make it a 2-score game. So as of right now, TCU is just hanging around for the time being, but any scores from Houston probably is going to do it for them, and that's going to help them out a lot. So the interesting thing here, their quarterback, Chip O'Dwyer, got not benched, I guess I'd say. He just didn't develop as much, as that's a flag and a strip sack fumble, and that's going to be a flag on Houston. So TCU's going to have the ball back here, it looks like. Holding, and yeah, TCU has it back after the strip sack fumble, but Chip O'Dwyer's on the team. He didn't progress very much. Their backup quarterback from last year, Eric Wayne, did, and he's the starter now. So, imagine that out of context. Your Heisman winning quarterback is on the bench next year. But still, 4th down and 12 for TCU, taking their shot deep. 1-on-1. Oh, jump ball, and it's caught for a touchdown. TCU makes it a 7-point game with just 6.5 to go. So plenty of time for them to come out here and get another stop and go on another scoring drive, but that's going to be Wayne getting another big play. Eric Wayne is looking pretty good right now with almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he's going over the 500-yard mark now. There it is, as they got a 3rd down and 1 with 4.5. He's going to scramble but not get it. 4th and 1, they're going for it. They're not kicking the field goal, but it works out for them, and he breaks the tackle, and he's in. Touchdown. Houston scores. And now it's a 2-score game again, and TCU needs to put up points right now. I mean, within the next minute or so. And that's a good couple of plays there to get him to the red zone. 2.5 to go. Throwing underneath. Caught. And from the 11-yard line, they'll go with the 2-minute warning. Couple of plays later at the 6. Play action. And end zone. Incomplete. It's 4th and 4. Game on the line for TCU. And Houston is headed to the playoffs. Eric Wayne ends up with 600 yards because they threw it. Of course, they threw it more, but you know they kept on going. Looks like we have what could be another Heisman Trophy here. Who will it be? Who will it be? The receiver, the quarterback. Which receiver? It is Lawrence Waller with 2,200 yards, and we finally did it. All 3 wide receivers are first team All NCAA. And the quarterback along with it. Georgia Tech, though, hey, credit to them. A couple of offensive linemen in there. Also, it's funny how you get to see new things in this game. So take a look at that right there. The 2 playoff matchups I just showed you. Georgia Tech and Fresno State. That's not what the bracket says. This is what the bracket says right now. Like, I advanced the week. Like, this is the playoff week 1. That bracket is not correct. Not at all. So I've never seen the bracket just not correct itself and not be the actual bracket. But yeah, it said Georgia Tech on the bracket had a first round bye. They did not. They are playing right now. They are the 6th seed taking on Fresno State. And would you look at this? They got a lead by 10. This is ideal for them. They're finally playing their game. 4th and 4. Why are you going for? You don't have to do this. You don't have to. And it's going to work out, though. Oh my goodness, he almost threw it away because the Fresno State found points on the drive on a short field that would have been scary, but they are playing from the lead right now. For once in their lives, they're actually playing with the lead, and they were able to take out a couple of minutes. Kick almost blocked, but it's not. Kick is through for a 13-point lead. This is what we've been waiting to see from Georgia Tech. Can you hold the lead in a big game and just take up the clock? That's what your path to victory is, and they're doing it in this one. Finally, can they get that playoff win on their resume as 4th down and 9 for Fresno State? It's completed. Game still alive for the time being as they will move to the 47 and a big run up the middle. All you got to do is just make them take their time, and then when you get the ball back, don't go 3 and out. Make them burn their timeouts. Make them burn their resources. Just keep the clock moving by any means necessary. 3rd and 15. It is he's throwing. It's incomplete. 4th and 15. It is looking like it could be all over. Throwing it deep. Fresno's gotta have it knocked out of his hands. That was actually kind of close. All right, Georgia Tech takes over. And for once, I think we might see a playoff victory here because they did go 3 and out. But Fresno State had to burn a timeout, and they have just 2 minutes to go with 2 timeouts to drive down the field. So it's less than ideal. 4th and inches. Throwing outside, it's caught, but got him in bounds. So all you got to do is just keep on letting the clock roll. And at this point, it's just recover an onside kick and you're good. And you've had good onside kick luck in this video. Ball caught for a touchdown, but like I said, just recover the onside kick. And oh my goodness, get the ball! They do. Onside kicks have been really interesting today. A couple of recoveries and near misses now. But Georgia Tech wins a playoff game. I didn't think I'd see the day. It finally can happen for these guys. Winning a playoff game. It was looking like we might have actually gone the entire video without them getting one, but nice to see it happen here. Meanwhile, on the other side for Houston, they are taking on Tulane, a familiar opponent here. Tulane has, been in the playoffs a lot in this video, but, good on them. 28-21 your score as Tulane's going to have the ball for a gain on the run. How about another one? Will it be another first down? Yes, it will be. They're down by 7, but driving right now in midfield. Handoff again, and another first down. 3 in a row on the ground as they are going to go the pump fake. Throw down the middle of the field. How about 4 straight first downs? This one in the air. They are doing an amazing job in this offensive possession. 3rd down at 7.5 to go. Play action as our drive could stall here. End zone shot and picked off. Intercepted into the end zone. He got a little too bold. And that drive, which was so good, gives you nothing. And a mistake like that against an offense like this is going to make you pay. I mean, they are going to get sacked on this play at least, but second down at 17. Wayne underneath. He's got the sack yardage back. He's got a little bit more than that. Third down and 6 after a gain of 11. As they'll throw. And right through the middle. The blitz in. Down he goes. I mean, that is one of those side effects of having a pass-only team. You're going to get sacked a lot. I mean, if you drop back and throw 900 plus times in a season, odds are you're going to get sacked fair amounts. So Tulane takes over. 5 minutes to go, but their offensive drive is not having as much success as the last one, at least how it started. 3rd and 16. Got the completion, and he's got the no, so close, 4th and inches. Yeah, you definitely go for this. This is definitely the right call, but you're taking a shot, Tim. He's got a step. Oh, no. He was open. That was a touchdown. That is such a bad miss. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, on offense for Houston, they're having their issues. Could they go, 3 and out here? And no, they get the completion, break the tackle, and a field goal range and more to the 23. That's a big gain. He's over 500 yards passing. A routine day for this offense. The best way to keep the clock rolling when you can't run it, I guess just throw a bunch of drags and a bunch of quick stuff, and also take sacks like that. Hey, that keeps the clock moving. So timeout used. Tulane forces a field goal. Kick is good, and that's all you needed on that drive. Just a field goal. You got the 2-score lead now. So 2 minutes to play. Tulane. Yeah, we've seen this before, but it's a matter of we've had some wacky onside kick luck this video, so I won't say it's over yet. And they go outside. 3rd down and 9. Will they even find points on the drive, though? As they get sacked here, they could take a field goal if they want to. They're not going to, though. I mean, you probably should just take the field goal. They'll throw it short of the sticks, and, well, that'll be game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking the field goal first, guys. You do need 3 points at some point, but it'll be a playoff win on both teams. Will we maybe get to see the matchup against each other? That'd be interesting. But instead, we'll see how the second round rolls. Georgia Tech, Texas A&M. And Georgia Tech, again, is playing with the game script that they wanted. They got the lead 13-6, and they have the ball in the red zone. Driving, running, and the 11. This is finally what we have wanted to see them do. Just play it smart, play it well, and get themselves the 1st and goal. As they'll hand off again. And down for a loss as they'll go 3rd and goal from the 8th. The run to the outside. It's not going to happen, but as long as you knock home this field goal, you're looking all right because they'll have a 2-score lead. There we go. So getting to play in that game script again. Once more, like another 3 to 4 minutes taken off the 4th quarter to start, and you got a 2-score lead. 4th down and 1. A&M going for it here, obviously. They won't sneak it. They'll throw, and they got it. All right. I thought they might just sneak it here. That's how it usually rolls there, but no. They throw over the middle now. And a completion for 10. 5 minutes to play. Play action. And a completion past midfield. Just do what you did last time around. If they score, it is what it is. Just keep the clock moving by any means necessary and maybe limit the big plays. That's another part of it. Limit big plays. 3:30 to go. Completed. Tackled inbounds at the 5. As they hurry it back up. 3rd down and 3. Stepping up. And swing it up to the running back. Meets them there. 4th and 2. They'll go for it. Again, you can take the field goal if you want to. End zone. Incomplete, you dummies. Take a field goal. Like, come on, man. Hey, we'll take it, though, because this could be semifinals for Georgia Tech. And, hey, I said don't count out Georgia Tech quite yet. If they make a late run here, because they just locked up this game, if they make a late run here and get a national title, oh, boy, it could get a little interesting. Houston, meanwhile, if Houston wins this game, well, I'll spoil it for you. The game is over. They're not going to win. It was 56-28. I was going to set the stage for you for a moment. No setting of the stage. They just got blown out. Like, it was a blowout. But Eric Wayne, we could have had a Houston-Georgia Tech semifinals, which would have been really interesting. But, yeah, Eric Wayne was fine. I think definitely now he was the second best quarterback. But how about that receiving season? Lawrence Waller, just shy of 2,500 yards on the season. So that's a pretty high yardage total compared to what we've seen. We've seen a lot of low 2000 seasons, but how about a mid 2000 season? That's pretty nice. But how about Oklahoma now, Georgia Tech? This is still a pretty favorable position for Georgia Tech. They don't have the lead, but they're inside the 10, 6-3 your score. As running up the middle, I think all this Georgia Tech team needed was a little bit of consistency on the ground game and a better defense, and they have it this year, so it can happen. It's 6-6 after the field goal. Oklahoma is going to have a first down run. So, like, the scores in the games have been, relatively low, and they've been getting lower and lower each time we go through a big game. So can Georgia Tech find themselves in a national title appearance? There's a sack. And how about 2nd and 17? Oklahoma throw it over the middle. It's caught. And that'll be 3rd and 1. Set up for a first down run there. And there you go for the 15-yard line red zone opportunity. And they got 3 points in their back pocket, but now it's a touchdown. He somehow found his way into the end zone there. Well, a game that's been locked up with no touchdowns being scored on either side. Well, the first touchdown's finally been scored, and now Georgia Tech needs to respond, and that is how you do it there to start off with a big run. Over 150 yards for their lead back today, as they'll go tackle for a loss this time, as you can't afford these behind-the-stick situations, but that's a nice way to get yourself out of that whole 3rd down and 4. I would say 4-down territory here, and there you go, first down. Don't even have to make that decision, as you'll go with the handoff now up the middle, and first down again. All right, they're moving it well. 3.5. Can you handle this adversity? Can you handle it? It's going to go down for 6 more. 2.5 to play. Handoff again. And through the line. Into the 10. Down to the 3. Can you find into the end zone? You were stopped once before. Not this time. It's not going to happen like it was last year, where you somehow had a couple of shots inside the 5 and couldn't do it. They find their way in, and now Oklahoma. 1:45 to play. Pass is going to be caught, and he's at the 48. All right, well, they're inching closer. 10-15 is what they need, and, well, that's literally, like, within that range. So you got to maybe knock them back, hope for a miss. Can't let them get closer, though. Oh, no, Georgia Tech's out of timeouts. They'll throw again. I mean, they don't need to throw, though. They could just run the ball here. Run it, and they're not. They're going to throw again. Well, how about getting right to the 1-yard line? Well, make it as easy of a field goal as possible. Well, if you miss this, you deserve to lose, but there you go. Kick is good from 19 yards. Yeah, that's game. I mean, 200 yards rushing for their lead back. Nice job. He had 2,400 yards and only 9 touchdowns. It's so funny how, like, little touchdowns there are. 9 touchdowns. It's a good season, though, as a whole, and their playoff wins finally came in. We do have one more year in this video, so we'll see if they can push themselves to a championship. Georgia Tech will be in the playoffs, but not in the conference championship. So, I mean, at least they got their playoff ticket. Houston, not in the playoffs, not in the conference championship. So it's just down to Georgia Tech here for Houston. We'll wrap things up for them, getting to their bowl game and their final season. But, yeah, obviously, they hit their peaks with Atwell, and then everything else has been, like, kind of bubble playoff team. They made the playoffs, got bounced after a game. They had their appearances, have been top 25, but they got smacked in their bowl game by Alabama. And Eric Wayne, really big step back season. I mean, you could just look at the yards per game stuff. It's not because he played 2 less games. He just had a lot less statistics to his name. So even though he was a 90 overall, just a much worse season overall. And no 2,000-yard receivers, which, that looks like just a really normal, good receiving season, team right there. 17, 14, and 1,000. Still impressive, but how about this play right here? Was making them impressive. We're going to our playoff game, Georgia Tech at home, and they allow a big touchdown to UCLA. The bold thing here is UCLA didn't go for 2. It was 16-0. They score a touchdown. They kick the extra point. It's still a 2-score game. Look at the hurdle there. And Georgia Tech, though, getting to operate with that 2-score lead. So I think that's really just been the big difference here is the run game can take you, a certain level, but it's the defense that needs to be the one stepping up and allowing less than, 20 points a game. I mean, obviously you could predict that. Anytime your defense allows less points, it's good, but it seems like, the passing attack just hasn't needed the defense as much. They've just been putting up 40 and 50 points a game in their biggest times, but the defense here is so much more crucial as it's incomplete on third down, 4th and 4. They are not going to punt, obviously. You're still down by 2 scores, and they convert, so they're in field goal range now. They can take the 3 here. They do need 3 at some point. We've seen a couple of teams pass up 3s to go for the touchdown first, which is questionable, but they do need at least 3 on this drive with 4 minutes to play. They're still running the ball, which is a little interesting, but Georgia Tech, 3rd down and 10, sacked. And they're going for it. What is with these teams and their logic? Why are you doing all the stupid things? Throwing it deep. And, well, it works. Touchdown. Come on. You should be rewarded for stupidity like that. Oh, boy. All right, Georgia Tech, don't blow this. Just get a couple of firsts as they'll run. And that draw is going to get them 6. Dive up the middle. 1st down. And that should give them 1 more away from getting that win. Stiff arm here. Gets to the outside. And nice run. All right, 2nd and inches. Just get it in for the first. And they will in a playoff, winning back-to-back years for Georgia Tech. Good on them. They have found some success finally. But how about this time around, you try to get yourself a little bit of revenge taking on Oklahoma once again in the playoffs. So it's the 6 versus 3 matchup. They were in the semifinals last season. Can they get back to them this season? As the run will get them nothing, but they are once again playing with the lead, and the defense is doing a nice job, and that is such a brutal play to allow. But yeah, 10-3. Hey, credit to the defense, man. It's been doing some heavy lifting here to help prop up this offense and to give them the victories that they are getting. And it's just no surprise that, the run game has been, I think slightly better than in years past. We've seen the 2,400-yard season, but, just the defense helping them out so much. Let's just not have the crack in the 4th quarter and allow the dam to burst and allow a bunch of points as they'll throw into the end zone when, well, I spoke too soon. There's a touchdown there, and it's a tie game. But still impressive to go that far without allowing a pretty premier high-level team score that much. I mean, they got their first touchdown almost halfway through the 4th quarter as they'll run, and that'll be for about 7 yards, 3rd down and 6 with the dive, and there you go, 1st down. I love that little heavy package there with 2 fullbacks out there, which is a fun little run formation to go through as they'll go with another run, of course, but not gonna work as this is a field goal try. What are you, 61 yards? Can he make that? No! 61-yard field goal. That is, I mean, he had the leg, so I guess I can't hate on it, but dang, man, 61 yards. Relax. All right, well, Oklahoma, they're sacked. It's 3rd and 28, and the fate of the video, I mean, this is the final run here. The second that they lose, this video is over. Unless they win out and win the rest of the way and go to the national championship and win that as well. They will force a punt. 2.5 to go. Can they be the ones this time to get the game-winning field goal in the way Oklahoma had done to them? Draw play, 3rd down and 5. They got the first. 2-minute warning hits as they go through 2 more plays. 3rd down and 5. Outside breaks a tackle, and there you go. That broken tackle, huge. 57 seconds to play, and the run is not going to get them there. They'll have to eventually punt it away, and we'll go to overtime. Oklahoma runs out the clock, and all right, overtime it is. Handoff. It's Georgia Tech first. They've had some overtime battles before, and they did not come out on top of the playoff one that I believe that they had, as they'll settle for a field goal to start off overtime. That's a little scary. You're going to need to make sure Oklahoma can't find the end zone here, and that's a good start. That's a stop in the backfield, loss of 3 at the 28-yard line, 3rd down and 13. Break a tackle, but they tried to run it, and it did not work. They broke a couple of tackles and still lost yards. So field goal, they trade one for another, and it'll be 13-13 in double overtime. Oklahoma has it first, and they'll throw over the middle. It's caught. 3rd down and 2 as they'll set up here after the 9-yard gain. Swing it outside, and he's not going to get the first. And now that's going to be another field goal. All right, kick on its way. It's good. And now Georgia Tech can win it here. Touchdown, and it's over. Or will it just be field goals and go on to a 2-point conversion shootout where I don't love the 2-point conversion shootout for them. It doesn't really work in their favor a lot with the run game. It's just so hard to run it from those situations, as they will just have to kick the field goal. Oh boy, their running back's gonna have 40 carries. He's got 39. Kick is almost blocked, but it's on its way and it's good. And that will mean 2-point conversion shootout. Here's the run. First one through. Good. 18-16. Oklahoma's turn. Outside caught. They call it good. I don't know about that. As 2-point conversion try this time. Oklahoma does not get it. Georgia Tech can win it here in the 4th overtime. Come on. End it here. Through the middle. He's not going to get it. On to overtime. Number 5. Run outside, and he's got it! That was close when they gave it to him. Oklahoma's turn, swing it. We're going to 6 overtimes, come on! Oklahoma, their turn first, 20-20's the score. They don't get it. Georgia Tech's now, can they get it in for a semifinals appearance? Hand off, in! And it took a lot of overtime periods, but Georgia Tech wins it. And back-to-back years with multiple playoff wins. And now, once again, they can go all the way to the end. Semi-finals. One more run here. Can they find themselves in the national championship? Or will it be undefeated Ohio State, who currently right now has a 3-point lead, and it's 3rd down and 7 with 9 minutes to play. That ball knocked down, incomplete, forcing the field goal try. That's big. Keeps it a 1-score game as the kick is good. 6-point game. Georgia Tech handoff now on offense. They've really been favoring that, big formation. I like, it makes sense though. If you're gonna run the ball, just get as many blockers out there. I said it at the start, just get as many blockers out there. Get the fullbacks, get the tackles, get the tight ends out there. You don't need receivers on the field for this team, so keeping it going in these heavy packages, and they'll run for another first. Yeah, they got there, and under 7 minutes to play. Just keep taking it one play at a time, and then you can break one like that to the 41 of Ohio State. But just keep it moving. Stretch left, and not able to get through the traffic there. 2nd down and 12. Delayed handoff, and they were all over it. 3rd down and 14. Not ideal, and they don't even get themselves in a spot where they could go for it. They're going to try a field goal. This is ridiculous. 62-yard field goal. He missed from 61, and now he misses from 62. Are you guys, I don't know if I can really fault it, because I know they need to get points. They know they have the leg, but man, 62 yards is rough. And because you missed it, you're basically handing Ohio State great field position, and now they're in field goal range. As the throw over the middle's caught, you need a turnover. You need a turnover in the worst way. Or if you could hold them to a field goal, a big run to break through. But, you cannot just allow them to run this clock like they are right now. 3rd down and 4. Got to get off the field here. And they will. 4th and 1. They're going for it. Okay, maybe this is your chance. Going for it. It doesn't have it. Okay, you got one try. You got to go 96 yards, though, in 2.5 minutes. And the first play is not ideal. No gain. 2-minute warning. Last play before it. Run up the middle is going to be a first. They got it for the first down. 1.5 to go. After the 2-minute warning, they are just taking a lot of time to set up these plays just because it's running. 70 yards out. And they'll give them 5 here. Back to the line they go. 2 timeouts still in their hands. As the run will lose them 2. 55 seconds. 3rd and 7. Again, he's stopped. 4th and 5, hurrying it back to the line, not burning their timeouts, but they need something here. We know it's a run, but where? They'll go up the middle. Hey, stopped. And it's game over and video over. Stick around for the final comparison. In this one was unfortunate that they could not get there. It's just really hard to go on game-winning drives, and with that situation being your reality, just not being able to throw, not being able to stop the clock much, not being able to do much. The margin for error is so much smaller, and you need more big plays, more just crazy things happening in your favor. But while this is a competition between these two, it's also like a general experiment. What happens if you have one team only throw? What happens if you have only one team run? So here are the results for these teams and what they were able to accomplish over the span of 10 years, starting with Georgia Tech. In 10 years, they had a 93-42 record. I did keep track of some of the other statistics of what you could see what they were working with talent-wise. It was pretty equal in terms of 4 and 5 stars. Georgia Tech had the slight recruiting advantage with the high-end prospects, but in the conference championship side of things, Georgia Tech did not win one. And like they just like had less appearances. They were probably in a better conference, but they didn't win them when they had the opportunity to. In bowl games, they made 4 bowl game appearances. Every year other than year 1, they were involved in something, whether it was the bowl games or the playoffs. So outside of year 1, they had a pretty consistent record of always winning at least 8 games. Like, they won at least 8 games from year 2 on, which is a nice level of consistency. They just never were able to get to, like, the big one. The last 2 years, they had won 12 games and 13 games, but other than that, years 2 through 7 was 8 to 10 wins, 8 to 10 wins. First round exit, conference championship loss. It was just, you were a nice team. It's almost like you were like the Steelers of college football, where you were competent enough, you can get to the playoffs, you can exist, you're not garbage, but you're not really scaring anybody. But they eventually did get some playoff victories. They went 4 and 5 in the playoffs, and interestingly enough, they had more playoff appearances than Houston. Like, that is interesting. More playoff appearances than Houston. But in terms of All-Americans, 20 All-Americans, couple of award winners, they had, like, I think 2 best offensive linemen, and then they had better draft success too, more first round picks and more total draft picks than them. But obviously the offense didn't rank very highly. I knew that the run team was going to have a lot less points put up and a lot less total yards. The game was going to be shorter, less plays, less opportunities. I got that, but man, they were really low in the points per game department. It was ridiculous. But go over to Houston now, who in 10 years won 110 games. That's literally 11 wins per season, 31 losses. And it's interesting that they had less recruits, less like premium recruits go to their school. Less players were drafted from their school, but they are able to make the conference championship 5 out of 10 years, win 4 of them. Go 3-3 in bowl games. They only had 4 playoff appearances compared to Georgia Tech's 5, but they made the most of them, winning 7 playoff games, winning a national championship, and making another national championship in which they lost because Atwell was demonic, was ridiculous, and was amazing. And you see the awards there. Unreal trophy case being, stacked up because, while 20 All-Americans for Georgia Tech compared to 22 for Houston, that's a pretty substantial amount, but like the award discrepancy, dude, 33 awards to 2. 5 Heisman winners in a row. It was Atwell, the other quarterback, wide receiver, and then like another quarterback or wide, like it was just ridiculous. It was just award after award, Heisman after Heisman. And while Atwell was the quarterback and a little bit afterwards, was keeping track of the individual season's offensive rankings. They had the number 1 offense in points per game and yards per game 4 straight years from year 5 to year 8. So yeah, year 5, 6, 7, and 8, they had the number 1 offense the entire time. On average, though, they were around like the 20th best offense. So offensively, Houston was more fun. They put up more points, but also they did succeed more. So this was obviously one where, like, it was not only a battle. So if you're going off like a head-to-head, passing over rushing won. But also, I think the results are just interesting in its own way because, like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought these teams could come out here and stink because there's no balance and, the team overall, they couldn't recruit. Like, there was a point in time where Georgia Tech had, like, no wide receivers on their team because no one wanted to play for them. But obviously that doesn't matter because they don't throw their receivers. Having low overall walk-on receivers doesn't matter when you don't use them. And for Houston, they had, like, no one wanted to play running back for them except, like, guys who could catch the ball. And for Georgia Tech, it was funny. They would have, like, 6 fullbacks on their roster at one point, but, like, no receivers or 1 receiver. That was really funny how some of the roster constructions kind of took place. It was a little weird. That's why the overalls for the teams never seemed that high, because they just never had, like, good depth or, like, well-balanced teams. They just had, like, odd teams. But still, I hope you guys all enjoyed this little experiment, and let me know what you guys thought of the results, if it went the way you thought it would, if it was exceeded expectations, went below expectations, whatever the case may be. But like, comment, and subscribe, as all that stuff is very helpful for the channel. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you guys all in the next one.